to me. I just need this to be real. I don't need no fairy tale. You don't need a killer pregnant for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale.
And welcome back. So here we are getting ready for map 2. I am once again Maru, joined by Cute. Nope, that way.
Yeah.
Cute Noob. Always funny when you got to remember your directions. Anyway, joined again by Cute Noob. And Cute Noob, we just saw one heck of a game from Lintik Kayo.
Yeah, I don't think we're surprised, you and I. We kind of expected Jazzykins. I think the one surprise is Han coming into the team and just popping off. And also Hannah, fangirl over here, on the Omen, being just completely dominating from the start to the finish as well. The thing that I would like for FXP to do going into their map of choice, which is going to be Bind, is to really be there to trade off for one another. That's something that I didn't see quite as much. There were glimpses of it, but not really. Also using utility to really hold back the aggression that is happening from Lintik. Lintik is really great, specifically Jazzykins, to get onto the site very quickly and then create that space for her teammates. So if you're able to shut down that initial aggression from the get-go, that creates like a little bit of more chaos for Lintik, and that's where you may find that thriving point for FXP Blue. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. What about you, Maru?
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Yesterday, Ash asked me if I thought that maybe Lintik Kayo would pick all these like individual sort of agents that played by themselves. And I was like, well, I'm not really sure. And today I did kind of see that a little bit more, right? The way that they play Jet is somewhat solo, Chamber, Omen. I mean, there were times where Omen was just not even near the rest of the team doing something, but the smokes were there. And I think that's kind of the important factor. They play agents that are very good in 1v1s, but they are able to capitalize utility. And I guess we're going to see here as we get ready to see agent select. Are we going to see much of the same? I am expecting to see Fade again, but we'll see. I'm curious to see if Bind causes a change strategy for both teams.
Yeah, it looks like FXP is already ready to go on this agent selection lockdown. We see Cherify on that Viper. We see Always on the Brimmy, which I personally love. Brimmy with the Simmy. I appreciate the fact that Riot has said, you know what, Brim, you need a buff and we're going to give it to you, or at least we are going to nerf down Astra so that you can become a potential selection for teams. It looks like potentially we will see them for both of the teams. How do you feel about that, Maru?
That's interesting. Although Brim is a much more common controller pick these days after the Viper nerf. Actually seeing Viper and Brim on Bind in place of another initiator or maybe another duelist or something is actually kind of interesting. Also, I want to bring attention, no Fade. So this is actually our first streamed game of the weekend without Fade. Neither team selected her here. But the other interesting one is Sage actually got picked. Now, Sage is pretty strong on Bind. There's a lot of really good places for her wall to be used. But Sage is a fairly off-meta pick. You don't see her too often in a lot of competitive play. So I'm really interested.
Yeah, I like that Sage is making a comeback because, you know, sometimes agents fall out of meta and they don't get that love. But I have seen, pros pick out or at least use Sage on their like rank games, and they've came up with some really funky walls. Specifically, I like the Sage wall to block off Hookah from that entry into B site. I also think that there's some cheeky walls where you can get some interesting angles onto a site. I love TikTok. I love watching TikTok. So the creativity that there is to be seen from Sages is phenomenal. I do plan to see Hunky bring out those spicy walls. But already starting off, the bomb making its way onto a site. And what are your predictions going on for, I want to say, like the pace that Lintik is going to be having for this defensive side in half?
Well, that's interesting because on Ascent, we saw them both yesterday and today be very, very aggro with their defense and offense. Here, it does seem like they are playing a little bit slower. I don't know if that's because of Bind itself. But that said, after the attempt at the plant, we now see that they are very much pushing against this. They broke the wall like immediately. They really don't want to let them get planted. But that said, down to only one person, and that whole round just went. You asked me a question, and trying to answer it, the entire round ended.
Yeah, we were talking about this pre-show also, how quick it is that Lintik is to really either defend or get on site, right? We blink and the action's already happening, and it is so hard to like really wrap our heads around, which I think speaks to the volume of skill that is being brought out by Lintik.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? This is kind of interesting, though. I did notice that they were a little bit less aggro off the bat. But once they heard them on site, it was very, very aggro. The speed at which they just tore that sage wall apart was sort of shocking. Jazzy, gotta get out.
Aggressively gets pushed back by Harmony. That guiding light. Jazzy picks twice and gets the shot onto Harmony. It's going to be the nades coming out for Caroline, trying to create some space, but Jazzykins is not giving an inch of that space. Going to be still holding onto the shower, spamming through this smoke. Little do they know that it's Caroline who is right around the corner. Cherify, already good for one from this push from Caroline. Shuts it down. The bomb still trying to decide whether it's worth hitting this side. It's going to be Caroline being dropped. Carly swings out, gets one guiding light, pushing through, looking for the second, and yes, indeed, captures it onto the board. And that's 2 points already for Lintik.
Yeah, and that was funny, right? We watched Jazzykins for so long from our point of view. As soon as we swap to check out, someone else instantly gets that 3K and just collects that kill that she was patiently waiting for. Look at this, Hannah already operator in hand. We are 2-0. This is off the back of them buying 2 operators. Now, I mean, Bind is a map that you can do that on. The long angle from heaven on A, especially in B, but this is just Lintik really, I think, feeling themselves and just saying, why not have 2 operators?
Especially on the hands of Jazzykins. We see how deadly she is with the sheriff, so to have that operator in hand is very scary. Tries to hide from that trailblazer, unfortunately does get peeked out. Always trying to get cheeky onto this hookah with Lana, but unfortunately does not happen. Hannah and Jazzykins have no fear. This A site is untouchable as the boombot repositions Jazzykins over from showers. Paint shells getting onto the site. Unfortunately though, Caroline does not manage to get onto the site. Always lurking about, does get a little damage onto Lana, excuse me, but unable to quite finish, and the bomb is still in no man land as they still decide where they want to go. Lana pushes on through, gets the kill. Spectre's deadly, man.
Yeah, Spectre close range. I mean, that was beautiful crosshair placement as well. And this is another rough one now with only Caroline and Cherify left. This is kind of what we saw in the last game, right? We saw the 2 of them mostly playing off the backs of one another to try and clutch things out. So they are, again, trying to do so here, but this is tough. Everyone's up. You have 2 left. Operators, right? Lana's got a Vandal now. It's looking kind of scary.
It is indeed, and I love the defense coming out from Lintik. They don't over-rotate. Their comms must be immaculate. I mean, from just watching a little bit of Jazzykins' Twitch stream yesterday, I saw that they are very communicative about what they hear. They're very detailed as well. It's going to be Sky, though, pushing on through. As they say, detail. Carly getting really aggressive defenders. The time runs out for them, but Cherify says, I'm taking someone down with me, and it's got to be Han.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least that's, for the content, that was a pretty funny kill there. I don't know if Carly or Han had to really go out and do that, but at least it was fun to watch. But yeah, now we've got full shields, we've got the ups, and then on FXP Blue, this is sort of a situation that they've been stuck in, which is constantly being pushed into these unfortunate eco positions. And I mean, here, Cherify does have the Vandal because she kept it from last round, but the rest of the team are kind of rocking a Marshal and a couple of Sheriffs against 2 Ops and Vandals. That's a scary place to be. Yeah, that's exactly right, Jazzykins.
Yeah, Jazzykins looking for the second one as Sky is nearby, healing it up. Unfortunately, misses that shot. Always is just going to swing on through, and that was not the correct play as Jazzykins able to capitalize onto that. And the spike is in full control of Lintik now. The last 2 attackers left alive, having to fight for their lives as Caroline tries to pinch. The rest of the gang is also on its way, as you can see. Lana on that lurk. Cherify, though, creating a name here as it manages to get these 2 kills. They have to go all the way around and meet the fate of Jazzykins, able to hit 1, looking for this 4K, and indeed secures it. Jazzykins is deadly, and you need to run away if she has that operator in hand.
Yeah, it's sort of that horror game vibe of Valorant, but at the same time, like, we, the viewers, also get that observer view where we see the outline, and so we kind of know what's about to happen, and it just feels bad. You get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, oh, they're about to just walk into this operator, and we can't do it. You can't yell at the screen and warn them, right? Taking a moment here, I mean, Econ for Lintik looking great. Econ for FXP Blue, not so much. If they lose this one, it's kind of repeating what we saw in map 1, which is this constant back and forth of being broke, buying a gun, dying, being broke.
Yeah, Jazzykins holding hookah. The paint shell's trying to reposition, but Jazzykin has no fear. Gonna peek on twice. We talked about it in the pre-show. Jazzykins has no fear. It's that confidence that oozes through her, and Hunky trying to find that same confidence meets Jazzykins. It's the double swing finally happening from FXP to allow them to get this site. They're gonna be able to plant. The resurrection is also in the back pocket of Hunky Penguin here, so they're gonna be able to resurrect one of their actually, maybe not, because their teammates are really far away. So they're going to have to deal with this kind of operator on the hands of Hannah, and the Brimmy smoking off this hookah position. The CT push is going to come on through, but as we can see, there's only one person left onto the site. It's Harmony, who does indeed get eliminated by Han. The resurrection comes on through for the Brimstone, which makes me think, is there a orbital strike in the back pocket?
One enemy remaining.
Good
Not if she collects the kill instead. Hannah does not have time unless she sticks it.
Wait. Oh my goodness, it's a spray. Doesn't connect. Does have it halfway through. Oh no, there is no comms for FXP. The defuse does go through. And actually, wait, no, scratch that. There was no more time. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really close. No, I actually thought she had it too, but she did not. One of those things where she just let go just long enough.
No.
Barely, but FXP Blue now on the board. This is their first round, and this round comes a lot earlier than last time. So if there is going to be a comeback, it maybe starts now, because this is the first time they've sort of looked good, but their eco is still so fragile. Even off that win, 2 players with light shields and no one with money in the bank. If they don't win this one, it's potentially tragic.
Smoke's down.
Well, their economy was very hurt by that last round, although they did win. They are just scraping by with light shields, and I think we even see a judge in the hands of, I can't even recall at this moment, but there is a judge in between. The orbital strike coming through for Lintik Kayo. Han with that 2K from that orbital strike, make that 3 as captures the kill onto Caroline, and now it's just once again down to Harmony and Viper here to make things work. Harmony gets full swung by the whole squad. Purify unable to do anything as well, and now we do unfortunately have that 5th point on the board, and a Flawless as well here, Maru.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of sucks the wind out of the room for that recovery there that FXP Blue had, showing that they can win the rounds if they can get everything working for them. But it almost felt like Lintik Kayo took that one personally, and they went really hard, right? The triple kill for Han off of the orbital strike, and then just some good old-fashioned gunplay. Now we do have Cherify with the judge. She does have Viper's Pit, so very likely looking to maybe get onto site and ult the judge. Super strong in Viper's Pit. The decay just means that you just really got to hit somebody with something.
Hit someone with something is what Hannah's trying to do here as swings on through. But Hunky says, yo, my sheriff be hitting different today, so too bad for you. Looking for the second hit onto Han. But Han does manage to get the kill, and that alerts the whole rest of Lintik Kayo that the spike is down. They need to collapse onto it. Jazzykin takes down Always, and the rest of the gang is onto the site, but unfortunately does not have the spike. Caroline with the ghost in hand, trying to make something happen. Han says, that's not going to be enough damage, my friend. Harmony trying to find the perfect harmony to sing along to and potentially get the dub for her team. It's a 2v3 here as Viper is still standing here. Cherify with a judge in hand, looking to swing onto Jazzykins, but Jazzykins crosshair placement, just beautiful. Chef's kiss. Harmony brings out the Seekers. going to know exactly where the last two remaining defenders are.
30
Flashes
seconds
her
left.
way onto the site. There's 30 seconds, needs to plant the bomb, is hoping that someone peeks her. Knows exactly where Sky is after that guiding light gets thrown out. So going to swing onto this, but it's going to be
Oh, nice
Han
try.
with the... Is that a 3K, 4K? I can't count at this moment.
That was a 3K for Han, yeah. And that was beautiful crosshair placement from Jazzy, especially because Terrify was trying to hide, I think, in that corner, hoping to swing out with the Viper's Pit once the spike made its way back to her, but unfortunately just didn't materialize. So we will see. They do at least have sort of a full buy this time, although Caroline now rocking the Judge. So, you know, I mean, I appreciate... Well, never mind, she sold it. I was going to say, I appreciate some Judge gaming. We had some really sick Judge gaming yesterday, also on Bind, so I'm always happy to see everyone's favorite automatic shotgun. Jazzykins actually picks one up, which I am terrified of watching.
Lana with the showstopper. Lana continues on. Harmony not looking the right way. It's going to be Jazzykin with the Judge getting one. Brings out the Blade Storm, looking for the second, but always says, no way, Jose. I'm going to get you out of this map. Now it's a 3v2 man advantage on the side of the defenders, but look at this huge flank happening here from Lintik Kayo.
I am waiting with bated breath because Hannah, we know, does a lot of good work. Oh.
I think that was a caster curse there.
Yeah. Sorry, Hannah. We got to do it at least once today.
Oh, terrified. Just looking to see if there's going to be another. Oh, they've made no noise. They made it seem like they were going to rotate onto this B site. The smoke's going to come through. I think that's going to alert Lintik Kayo that they are onto this A site. Actually, no, they're going to think that they are onto that B. Little do Lintik Kayo know that the bomb is getting planted onto this A site. And I love the idea of bringing out this Viper's Pit. Viper's Pit is so scary to work in, Maru.
Yeah, the limited by visibility, the decay that you suffer, and just sort of the benefit. Oh my god, but Han just says never mind. It just runs right at her.
That's just teamwork at its finest. We saw Carly bring out the dog, and with that, that was like an alert for Brim to just full send it onto whoever was on that site. Absolutely nice.
And I mean, that was a really well played Viper's Pit. I mean, that's exactly what you kind of want to do. You want to use it, you know, get the plant down, you know, establish some space. But yeah, the Tasmanian tiger just running you down and then having a brimstone following it to then shoot you in the face does kind of unfortunately take the wind out of your sails for it. And we are now looking at 7-1. And honestly, Lintik Kayo, okay, I was about to say, I wonder if they really started to feel themselves, because I saw an Odin there for a second, but Jazzy decided to go back to a Vandal, like a normal human being.
Oh, well, you know what is normal is the guiding light coming on through, but always gets one. Says, no, we are not going to go down this way. Caroline is bringing out the showstopper. Unfortunately, there's no one. Oh, but it's the footstep from Lana to get taken out. And now the B site looks a little more pleasant for FXP Blue here as the Sage Wall blocks off this elbow position. The smoke's also going to come through just to give a little bit of extra protection, but they're going to have to worry about Hana with this operator in hand.
Yeah, I mean, this is a scary position if I'm Lintik Kayo, right? You're 3 to 5. The retake is going to be difficult, but at the same time, we've seen them do really great work in a lot of scenarios, so it's very possible.
Oh, there you go, just like you called it, Hannah. Good for one on to Caroline. Han gonna tap on the bomb. Pros don't fake, maybe stick. Okay, has to get off of it because that snake bite and the Molly lineup do come in clutch. And unfortunately, Hannah does also fall on through. The Thrifty coming out, something that FXP really needed.
Yeah, this gives them a second round on the board, and I mean, it is looking a lot better. Lintik Kayo, I think, are definitely still in a great position, but that is actually kind of damaging their eco if you do take a look, right? Lana actually only has 600 credits left after this. I think she bought for somebody. But this is one of the times in which I would say that FXP sort of have a stable economy, and Lintik Kayo need to be careful. If they lose this round, their econ could be starting to falter here. They got to be careful about buying those big, expensive operators.
Yeah, they're going to start off this B site. B site has proven to be a successful site for them. It looks like they're not... Ooh! Caroline trying to spray transfer onto Carly. Unfortunately, it does not go as planned and does go down, leaving it a 4v4. I was going to say, just as Han interrupted me with that kill, or actually I interrupted Han, how dare I, Cherify, taking out Hannah off the board. The spike hasn't quite committed, but Lana is committing onto the kill, onto Always, unfortunately not quite making it into fruition, so has to reposition because they do know exactly where she is. Cherify gonna pick up the spike, but little do they know, Lana is still lurking about, just misses Harmony there, but oh my goodness, it's a flank on flank. Wait,
No.
did Always
Oh.
okay? Oh my goodness, that could have been so terrible.
I have to imagine the voice comm there was always going, look behind you. Right? Turn around.
That's so creepy. Okay, Cherify going to be working for the plant. Unfortunately, orbital strike does come through the flash as well. And now it is just down to Always. I mean, Always is nice and forever as well, but can the shots connect just as well is the question here. A flash comes through, the time is ticking, needs to go for the bomb or the 1v1. I mean, you take your choice here. Always, we are here for it. Has to switch to the classic. Right clicks never hit more different, Maru.
That was one of the greatest right clicks I think I've ever seen. That was just beautiful. Chef's kiss, 7-3. This really feels like something that FXP needed if they want to get back in. I mean, that's got to feel good. They've been playing really well in this one as well. So just facing up against Lintik Kayo, I feel like they have maybe worn out the nerves. And Lintik Kayo maybe getting a little bit cocky. I don't think that's, wrong to say. We saw some bizarre gunplay buys in the previous rounds. FXP Blue sitting on fairly good eco. They still have a lot of space. Can still kind of tie this up as we get ready to swap. Really not, out of the realm of possibility to see like a 7-5 if they keep this up.
Jazzykin getting banged up by that wall spray. The nades bring her down. Caroline comes down though, and unfortunately does go down. There's a bunch of trade-offs happening here onto this B site. Doesn't matter though now. The Seekers come on through, but it's Hannah shutting it down. It's now left once again to Cherify, who's done it before. Has managed to get some insane gameplay, but there is lack of utility in the back pocket. Just a snake bite and a hope and a dream.
Yeah, Han holding up in that corner. Oh, this is a gross angle, actually. this is a disgusting angle.
It's going to be the fight of who peaks first and who has the perfect crosshair placement. Lintik is so great at knowing that they don't need to overextend. All they need to do is swing together, and that is the key to success as we get an 8-3.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, okay, maybe I cast her curse again because I was like, oh, we could get a 7-5. All right, well, we're either gonna get the traditional 9-3 split, or we're gonna be looking at perhaps an 8-4 split. Either way, not a terrible position. I mean, if I'm FXP Blue, it's not exactly the numbers I'd want to see, but it is a lot better than map 1. And there are a lot of things that can change. Bind has always been claimed to be defense-sided, so it is very possible that we see FXP Blue kind of come back from the brink here. And of course, would it be a tournament without a 9-3 curse?
Factual, not indeed. It's going to be the Trailblazer gets destroyed, a flash coming through. They know Jazzykin gets very confident on the double peak, so gonna potentially see if they can get this kill. Little do they know there is this crossfire happening here from the Rays as well as the Jet onto this Octagon. Flashes through. Lana does get, does not get blinded. It's going to be Harmony, good for 1, good for 2. The perfect tune is going along for FXP as they are going to rotate over to this A site, which I, for myself, love because there's only one person onto this site, and if they can eliminate, they can get this site completely for free here.
Yeah, but not with Carly. Oh, she takes one with her at least. Oh. On.
Last player standing.
Oh no. This is a horror game indeed. You called it, Maru. It's the plant needs to get the bomb needs to get planted here. I do like the bring out of that showstopper, I was going to say, and then Always said, no, cute noob. This is what's happening. This is how we're going to end it. 8-4, not a bad place to be if you are FXP. I mean, not the desired place, but hey, it's better than your first. You said it before, Mar.
Yeah, I mean, 8-4, obviously, you are down 4 rounds, right? But let's be honest, some teams really just prefer to play one side of a map than the other. So, in the possibility that FXP Blue is much more comfortable on defense, which with their lineup, I feel is correct, right? They have Brim, they have Viper, they have Sage. Lots of vision obscuring, lots of lockdown of sight with the Sage wall, and honestly, just Viper's utility too. Maybe they are playing for defense, in which case 8-4 is looking great because you only got to win 4 rounds on defense, or I'm sorry, 8 rounds on defense to win here versus, getting all the way back up. So perhaps, one of the classic Sage rolls here in Hookah that kind of blocks it off, lets everyone know where you're coming. So we'll see if this actually works out the way that they want it to, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you already get, if you can get the pistol round underneath, then you can also get that bonus buy. That's already just 2 more rounds that you need to make up for if you are FXP Blue. But we already have a man down for either side. The bomb making its way onto this A site where it's just a Viper. And when I say just a Viper, I mean it is the main Viper, which is Cherify here. Going to give the team a little bit of nudge that, hey, there's nothing at showers, but I am hearing some type of sound. Maybe you can help out a friend here as Hunky Penguins makes their way over onto this A site and the rest of the gang is following along. The bomb does get planted and some smokes are settled to help reposition for this post plant for Lintik Kayo.
Yeah, I think Cherify, either they knew she was in showers, but it seems like she kind of made maybe the right choice to not peek out and try to swing the plant.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
his
my.
right clicks just hit different. I don't know what's in that pistol, but I need to find out. And it's going to be the cleanup town for FXP Blue here as they manage to secure this 5th round for themselves.
Yeah, and by the way, Cute Noob, did you know that's a free gun?
I did not. I did not know that.
Free gun.
I mean, probably not the skin.
No, skin definitely not. Free gun.
Maybe it's the skin.
Who needs to aim when you can just right click, right? But I mean, you still got to aim the right click. But that right click will always just ruin someone's day, and it absolutely does that here. Except, I guess, if you're always who now sitting with a nice 13-9 KDA spread. That was beautiful play with the classic. And this is actually the first time that Lintik Kayo have been on an eco round versus FXP Blue. Look at this, just pistols versus Spectres.
Oof, okay, this is what we talked about, Maru. Can they, if they are able to get this pistol round, then they're able to get this bonus round, then we're talking about a game, as Caroline says. I hear you, Cute Noob. I am giving you just what you asked for. Might eventually see that 3K with the paint shells. Let's go. That's my favorite, Maru.
That was beautiful play by Caroline. Really just well executed from trapping her in that corner. And honestly, at this point, I mean, yeah, FXP are looking very comfortable on defense. Like, this seems like the exact thing they wanted.
This is indeed, and now it's just down left to Hannah. Yeah, although, I mean, when I say just left to Hannah, look at that Headhunter already putting in massive work, helping the economy of Lintik Kayo at this moment. Call that too, maybe, I don't know, looking for an ace, potentially, possibly, does turn away from that flash, repositions, knows that Harmony is about, but hey, if there's one, there is possibly two, as always. Tries to tickle peek, does indeed, does not hit the shot though. Hannah able to take 2 before going down and giving the 6 point to FXP Blue. Is it too early, Maru, to say that you know the word I'm thinking of? Is it?
Well, the song does say don't call it a comeback, and I think maybe it might be too soon, but I would be unsurprised if it goes that way, because FXP are looking very, very confident here. The swap to defense has given them kind of this comfort level that we haven't seen from them. And honestly, Lintik Kayo are looking a little shaken. I'm actually a little shocked. They are not executing in the way that they've been executing previously. So we'll see. Jazzy does now have a Vandal in her hands, but is that going to be enough to counter the kind of momentum shift that FXP Blue has started, especially from Caroline?
Yeah, the lack of utility is kind of worrisome for the side of Lintik KO, at least from Jazzy herself. We didn't see any smokes, any cloud bursts coming out, not even a dash either. So actually, the dash just gets used to hop onto the site. I think it's the fact that they're not able to really explode onto the site and get those initial picks. But just as I say that, Han said, initial picks, got you, Q noob. Secure 2, make that 3, and now it's just down to 2 remaining players for FXP Blue. Caroline making her way onto Heaven. Gonna jiggle peek, see if they can potentially get anything off of that. And then always as well pushing on through CT. But Lintik KO said, you know what? We gave you guys enough rounds. And now we're ready. We're ready to end it.
Yeah, this does seem like a little bit more the Lintik KO that we've seen before, but I don't know. I mean, FXP have been doing so well. If they can kind of just regain and keep going. I mean, they do have money to spend in this round, so they're not going to be forced onto an eco, so you're not potentially just giving them a second round in a row. But, I mean, honestly, really happy with what we've been seeing out of FXP here. Some of that gunplay from Always and Caroline have been huge in shifting the momentum here. I'm really excited. I'd love to see them continue. I would absolutely love to see a map 3, right? Imagine at the very least saying, hey, we forced Lintik KO to map 3, if not, let alone beat them, right? That would be a huge boost.
Yeah, indeed. Can it happen as Caroline makes her cheeky angle here be known with that Trailblazer? Throws out the paint shells, does not reposition, is being held by at least 3 members of Lintik KO. The paint shells get invested, but unfortunately do not quite connect, but it's okay because Jazzykins is here to clean it up. Orbital Strike coming out for FXP Blue does not connect with anybody, unfortunately. The Cherify does take down Jazzykin, top leader for Lintik KO. Cherify gonna push on through, make sure that site is clear. The rotation though, big brain move happening here from Lintik KO, as they know most of the gang for FXP was onto that A site. So they're going to allow themselves to plant this bomb. And Lana, really aggressive onto this CT, gets punished by Hunky Penguin here, looking for this last kill onto Carly, who's the last one onto site. But actually, no, is joined by Han now on Hookah.
One enemy remaining.
That's one. Cherify making this a 1v1, 30 health and a dream. Can it happen? No, it does not.
Nice.
Carly shuts it down, bringing them to double digits.
Yeah, and it seems like the Lintik KO dragon has awoken and is trying to close this out and trying to say, okay, fine. We gave you some rounds. you got to feel yourself a little bit, but now it's time for us to finish our job here. But even in that execute, I don't know if you noticed, but like Carly's aim a little off. So it's possible that even the giant Lintik KO are feeling some nerves here, maybe just being tired, just playing Valorant so often in the last day and a half. It's possible, right, that occasionally that mental slips. You got to be careful. Look at this Viper's Pit from Cherify. What a unique way to lock down B. And she is relatively safe to stay in there or come out if she chooses.
Oh my goodness, Always is not safe, though Lana does push on through and manages to take down one, looking for a second, but it's kind of hard to see in that Viper's Pit. Harmony manages to get the kill onto Lana, but Jazzykins is being a menace onto this Octagon. Hunky with the Marshall. Talk about being built diff. Okay.
Marshall Gaming. And now look at this, it's just Carly.
Carly down to 1. FXP looking to keep themselves alive, looking to secure that 7th point, making it only a 3-point difference here as Carly makes her way onto the site. There is Hunky Penguin in the back, manages to see, but unfortunately does not connect the shots. Time is ticking, 33 seconds on the board. I assume that Carly's just looking to get some damage onto this economy.
She's got to be looking to do something, right? She doesn't have Spike. She's got to try to figure out what to do. Just making noise here, maybe trying to lure Hunky out. Looks the wrong way, and I mean, did lure the Penguin out, but did not expect to get bit.
Wait, really? Do penguins bite?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. Fun fact.
Fun fact, yeah, they have scary teeth, actually, and weird knees.
Oh my goodness. I'm learning so much today. You're welcome, chat. Education.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Penguins got weird knees. Look it up. Anyway, 10-7 XP Blue. We are now seeing FXP Blue honestly really coming to life. It is very, very nice to see. I'd love to see if they can keep this up, right? Take this, maybe be the team to not only take Lintik Kayo into double digits, but take that win off of them, right? Get that map off of them. And I think they can do it if they continue like this.
I've got your trail.
They can if this aggression pays off here, as Hannah has to reposition. The Seekers get invested for Lintik Kayo, but so in return, FXP says, look, I have Seekers as well. This site has been fully given up as the flank from FXP does continue to happen onto this A main. Unfortunately, it is 2 on the side of Lintik Kayo watching that flank, so Caroline has to go back with the showstopper as Sherify continues to establish her way onto this A site. Carly pushing lamps, trying to see if there is anybody about, and with that, Hunky Penguin making a name for herself. As getting the flare once more, it's going to be 2, but Lana and Carly cleaning up this A site now have to worry about Hunky Penguin. They know the position because Hunky got a kill previously, so there's a little bit of comms on that, but they don't know exactly where the Brimmy is.
Yeah, this is a little scary for Genji. I mean, this has been, oh, never mind. She actually is going to now have time to plant, and it's not going to be Hunky versus Carly, a rematch of the last round. And we'll have to see. Only a single slow orb left to play with here for Hunky. A lot of time also on the board to potentially give her a chance. 5 bullets. Please reload your gun.
Okay.
Thank you.
You asked. You were given. There is no wall to help with like a sneaky defuse, and you know that they have to be somewhere in CT, right? That Trailblazer came from backside, so they know. I love the idea of, hey, maybe I shouldn't defuse, maybe I should push here. The time is ticking though, has to go back to the bomb, taps it. There is a guiding light being held by Carly. It does go through, but Hunky
does
not have enough time. Oh, unfortunately, Mari.
Really, really great round from FXP Blue. Hunky really happy, I think, with what happened. Unfortunately, had just no time to defuse. Now, getting very close to triggering match point. But I mean, I'm kind of believing that FXP Blue can pull it out if they keep playing like that. Hunky has absolutely come to feel comfortable in that role of clutching these rounds. And they keep pushing. Honestly, Lintik Kayo gets pushed in these weird positions where they're down a person or two, and they just aren't executing attack on bind. You know, if I'm teams watching, you know, if I'm watching to see if I'm going to be playing either of these, I would say, hey, maybe I'm going to force Lintik Kayo to play bind.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised to see this map being brought out because we hadn't seen them play it. I mean, of course, the individual players have played this game, but Lintik Kayo as a whole squad hasn't played it. So it kind of felt like, oh, okay, I guess FXP seems a little more comfortable. At least from the research that I did, I didn't quite see FXP play this map quite a lot, so I was kind of surprised that they chose it, but it makes sense now as Caroline plays really aggressive, gets caught up by Han, but Sherify is there to help a friend out and able to, unfortunately, does get traded off, and now it's a 3v3. The nades, paint shells do a little bit of damage, but Harmony is still about trying to help retake with the team. The whole squad is here. There is a showstopper being brought up by Lana to buy time. He's not going to commit to anything at the moment because that's the last person standing for Lintik Kayo. Gets thrown out, does not connect. I hate when that happens with the showstopper.
Yeah, that feels bad because it also gives away the position, and there we go. So, FXP Blue holding on for dear life here. I mean, hey, you've got one round to play with when it's up to match point. But this is looking so dicey. This is the type of close game that we were experiencing all day yesterday, and I am really happy to see this map go this way. I love these sort of close ones where it's just fighting for a comeback because it's honestly possible. Look, the econ for Lintik Kayo, very unlikely that this round is going to go their way unless they execute extremely well with these sheriffs. I mean, we do have a judge in the hands of Jazzy, and we do know she can do really great things with it, but FXP Blue, full shields, guns, except for Always carrying a light shield, but, you know, when you're playing like Always is playing, maybe you don't need to worry about shields.
Yeah, light shields, no need, says Jazzykin as the judge in hand comes in clutch. I mean, you can only get that with full confidence, right? You know that you need to eliminate that. That was a problem for y'all last time. So if you can eliminate the Viper's Pit right off the bat, then it gives you a little bit more playroom, a little bit more of a breathing moment. But Caroline catches one out onto Showers. I believe it was Sheriffy there who does get caught out. And now they have to reposition here once again. They are being blocked by that Sage wall that I talked about before there, Maru.
Yeah, that's a really nice wall if you've never used it or you don't play a lot of Sage. It really does block off, and if you do it well, you can do exactly what Hunky Penguin was doing, which is stand on top of it at a fairly safe angle. It gives you really great vision of B long, also gives you the ability to kind of peek down into hookah, and it's really hard to retaliate against. Oh, wow.
But Hunky says hitting shots isn't hard. You just aim for the head, friends. And that is exactly what we are seeing Penguin do successfully at this moment, looking to make this a 3K. Spams through the wall. Harmony says, no, you're not going to get the kill.
Wow.
Han good for one, but always trading off the Brony.
Yeah, and we are now 9-11. FXP are not only 3 rounds away from stealing this one from Lintik Kayo, they are at least 1 round away from being the first team to get double digits on Lintik Kayo. And even let's say they don't manage that, right? Let's say we just caster cursed them to being 9-11. At the very least, they are the first team to not just go 3 and something. Every other team went like 3 and 13. They are now saying 9-11. They're giving Lintik Kayo the fight of their life here for this game, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is, you said it, it is great to be able to, say, hey, we played against signed pros, and we held our own on our map choice as well, which states volumes for FXP as they make their way onto this, Lintik Kayo making their way onto this B site. They invest the Seekers, which does give away the position of Sheriffy and gets taken out by Hannah, who continues to push on through. Orbital Strike gonna help out and clear sight here. And they are going to be able to plant, as always, gives it up, waiting for the remaining team members to get onto the site.
Ooh, getting a little bit of damage here in hookah. This is not looking so great for FXP Blue here on this retake.
No, it is not. Always pushing on through. Knows that there's someone from Octagon because that slow came on through. Lana says, hey, I got us, friends, don't worry. And Hannah showing up on the board quite frequently now, feeling themselves on the chamber.
Match point.
All right, and here we are, Cute Noob, place we thought we might have been a lot earlier in this map, but we are now finally sitting on the match point trigger. Lintik Kayo 12-9. FXP Blue now playing for overtime, playing for bragging rights in some case of at least saying how many rounds they took off, as we mentioned. But also, I don't think they just want to say we did well. I think they want to win, and it's still possible. Hey, right? 3 rounds is not impossible with the way they've been playing. So let's see if FXP Blue can get us to overtime here on map 2.
Always smoking out this long. It's going to be a flash to kind of bait out these defenders. Not quite committing. I like this. I like the fact that Lintik Kayo is deciding, you know what? We're just going to play it slow. It's fine. We got time.
And we do see them doing that exactly now, executing the Hunky Penguin, finally putting the wall up, actually. A very, very, not putting it up immediately at the beginning. It does get broken, and she's got that Marshall in her hands again. Does not get the kill. Wow, retreats with the teleporter. Pretty smart.
Yeah, but it's a dash onto the site. Lana has control of the site, says, hey friends, I've made it through safely, come on, it's nice and safe, the water's warm, we can go and plant the bomb. And that is exactly what's happening as the wall banging happening. Okay, Han, we see you. I guess you know the exact perfect spot to get the kill. Hannah also adding on to that kill count, but always gets Han out of the map, looking for Lana, but unfortunately Lana manages to stay on top. The resurrection is there for Penguin to use, if able to get rid of Hannah, who's being a menace here.
Oh, wow, through the resurrection. Amazing shot from Hunky Penguin.
Oh, but look at this positioning
Last player standing.
from Lana here, and
the
just like
heartbreaker.
that, folks, it does. Lintik Kayo taking this map with the dominance at the end. Oh, welcome back, Delta.
Hey, yeah, so FXP Blue's journey yet again thwarted by a team of randoms. Not exactly randoms. This team was full of players from Gen G, CLG, C9, Complexity, and so it was a tough set of randoms to go against, but unfortunately thwarted. So Lintik KO 2-0 for the first series. Sorry, Maru, we didn't get to go to Icebox like you
That's
wanted.
okay.
But yeah, we just saw a complete dominating game of confidence from Lintik KO for the first series of today. So, map one, there was only really 1 point that FXP Blue was able to put down, but the second map was a lot closer, and we thought that, they might be able to pull a win. Maru, what do you think allowed map two to be a little bit closer?
I think that something that I noticed early on is with the way that Lintik IO were kind of executing, they weren't as aggressive as they were on Ascent. I don't know if maybe they're just not as comfortable on Bind or what. Maybe it was the strategy, agent select, I'm not sure. But FXP did seem a little bit more comfortable. Unfortunately, the momentum for them didn't happen until way later in the match. And really, like I said, sometimes teams just prefer to play one side than the other. And it really did seem like FXP really liked playing defense, right? That they were very good at defense and they really felt like they were absolutely killing it there. They would drop around, but they'd get a couple. I mean, we were so close to having them be the team to take double-digit rounds off Lintik KO, and that would have at least been, I think, a cool story. But at the very least, they did great. But yeah, I think for Lintik KO, it came down to a lack of their usual aggression, and it seemed almost like they were a little uncomfortable. Or, I don't know, there were points where I wonder if they were playing around a little too much, right? We saw like they were jokingly buying like maybe an Odin, and it's like, well, are you feeling yourselves that much? You got to be a little careful with that, right? Because you're going to start facing teams that are going to capitalize on that as they get ready to go into the higher parts of our tournament.
Right, confidence reigns supreme for Lintik KO. We definitely noticed that. Anything else stand out for you past series, Kinu?
I mean, Lintik KO is the it team. If I think we all can agree on that. For FXP, I loved, just like Maru said, the fact that we did see those glimpses of a team coming together and being able to capitalize and really beat out these. In itself, it's the fact that you get to say, hey, I played against side pros and I did very well, because they really did do very well. They took it 9. I was here with like all my fingers crossed, like I was like, come on, you can get these double digits, because it was possible. Unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't go in your favor, but I do want to give a round of applause to FXP. I think they have a lot of potential, and I hope to see them back again next Game Changers.
Yeah, and we were able to see them last time. Hopefully next time they don't get paired up with a bunch of randoms. So, aggression being the name of the game for Lintik KO, and they will move on to the top 8. When we return, it's going to be Dart Monkeys versus Meownies, also trying to make it into the top 8, so stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.